So you want to know how to make homemade pie. Well, guess what? You clicked on the right video because today I'm going to teach you how to make homemade pie. It's fun, it's easy, yes, I said easy, and you can do it because I'm going to teach you how, all in today's video. So let's get started. By the way, my name is Kim Martin and welcome back to my channel. If you're not subscribed, feel free to do that and hang out with me every Tuesday here on YouTube. My channel is full of videos about cooking, baking, lifestyle in general, and soon we'll have some mom content for you. So like I said, go ahead and subscribe if you haven't, and let's get started making pie. Okay, first of all, we're going to talk about pie filling. Yeah, I know, there's a lot of fruit here, but here's the thing. I'm making a bunch of pies today to donate to a local fundraiser, and so that's why I'm making so many. Usually I would not need this much, but anyways, that's beside the point. So what I have here are red tart pitted cherries. I actually have 2 bags of those. The cherry pie tends to be the most popular. So I have 2 bags of that, and then I have red raspberry because that's just my favorite. And I also have blueberry. I get all of this from Gordon Foods because you can buy in bulk, but I mean you can get this stuff at a regular grocery store. I just like to buy big amounts, so that's why I go to Gordon Foods. I also have some apples here because I'm planning on making several apple pies too. I like to use Gala apples because some kinds of apples tend to get kind of mushy when you bake them, but Gala apples seem to hold up really well. So I like to use Gala, but if you prefer to use a different kind, good for you. Like I said, I am making a large amount of pie filling, but the recipe in the description box makes 1 pie. So if you're making more than 1 pie, you're going to want to like double or triple that recipe. But the recipe for the pie filling is in the description box and it makes enough for 1 pie. So just so you know. Okay, so we have the cherry pie filling started cooking. So the next thing we're going to do is get the blueberry pie filling started. And just for your information, the recipe for the cherry, the raspberry, and the blueberry pie are all the same. You can substitute the berry for whatever kind of pie you want to make. So that makes this recipe extremely easy because I don't have to be like remembering different measurements. It's all the same. Okay, so we have the blueberry and the cherry pie filling starting. What we're going to do is we're going to cook those until they boil. And then we are going to add in some sugar and a little bit of lemon juice. And then they will be all ready to be thickened. And then we've got pie filling. I want to get started on the raspberry and the apple pie filling, but I don't have enough large cooking kettles. So we're going to wait till these are finished cooking and then I will get started on the red raspberry and apple. But before then, obviously I have to peel and slice all of the apples. So we're going to do that next. Okay, our blueberries are boiling. That means we are ready to put the sugar in and the lemon juice and then thicken it. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So the next thing I'm going to add to our pie filling is some lemon juice, and the lemon juice is just to enhance the flavors of the pie filling. This is completely optional though, so it's totally up to you. So the next thing we have to do is thicken the pie filling, and I like to use Clear Jel, but if you're familiar with cornstarch, that works too. I don't have exact ratios for how much water to Clear Jel I use, but just mess around with it, figure out what works for you. Every pie filling is a little bit different, so. Okay, the next thing I'm going to make is the apple pie filling, and yes, I'm going to link this vegetable chopper for you in the description box because I love mine and I wouldn't want to live without it, so you need to get yourself one. I highly recommend trying this apple pie recipe, but just a tip, don't forget when you are making apple pie filling not to cook the apples until they're completely soft because they're going to continue to bake in the oven, and so they will tend to get mushy if you overcook them when you're making the filling, so don't forget. Okay, so all the pie fillings are ready to go. And typically I like to be like starting on crusts and getting pies in the oven while I'm making the pie filling. But for the sake of this video, I decided I'm just gonna make the pie fillings, explain how that's done, and then make the crusts and explain how that's done. So I'm gonna start on the crust right now. I'm not actually sure if I'm gonna have time to bake all of them tonight, so I'm gonna get started making the pies. I may end up finishing some of the pies up tomorrow morning, but I'm not sure. We'll see what we can get done tonight. I'm gonna get started on the pie crust and I will explain that process to you. So let's make some pies. Okay, this pie crust recipe is super easy, and just for your information, it will make 2 crusts. So you can either make 2 pies or you can make 1 pie with a bottom crust and a top crust. So what I'm doing is I'm starting with 2 cups of flour, and then you add a teaspoon of salt and you combine that. And then you're gonna wanna add a 3/4 cup of Crisco shortening, and I always add just a tiny little bit on top, so basically a heaping 3/4 cup. And then you're going to combine that with a pastry blender, and if you don't have one, I am going to link one in the description box just for you. So you're going to combine the Crisco into the flour mixture until it's crumbly, and then you're going to add 7, 8, 9 tablespoons of water. You're gonna have to just make that call yourself. It all depends on how your dough is turning out. Start with 7, you can add a few more if it's not wanting to come together. So just combine that with a fork, and then at the end you'll probably have to combine it a little bit using your hand. And then move it to the countertop and knead it the rest of the way, and you've got yourself a pie crust. Like I said, this recipe makes 2 crusts, so don't forget to separate your dough into 2 pieces. So just a tip for you for this next step, be really careful not to stretch and push your pie dough into the pan. That can cause shrinking, and so if you lightly lift it and set it into the pie pan, that will be your best option. And then as you can see, I go around and I trim off the excess and then roll out our next crust. As you can see, I didn't get all fancy with the top crust. When you're making this many pies in one day, it's hard to devote that much time to each pie to make them all look intricate and individual. But yeah, as you can see, I'm going to go around and tuck the top crust under the bottom crust and then crimp the edges. And then I make tiny cuts in the top to vent the pie to prevent boiling over in the oven, and then sprinkle with sugar, and they're ready to go in the oven. Good morning, you guys. As you can tell from the morning voice, I didn't get all my pies finished last night, but I did get like 8 pies made, so I have a good jump on today. Rather than being up half the night, I decided to just go to bed and finish this today, so that's what we're doing. If I'm honest, I don't really mind getting up early to make pies. It's kind of relaxing to like be in the kitchen making pies early in the morning. Maybe not everyone would consider this relaxing, but I love it. So that's fun. Apparently I forgot to run the dishwasher last night after I was done cleaning up the kitchen. So, in case you were thinking that I have it all together, don't be fooled. Okay, so I wanted to tell you guys a little bit more about the fundraiser that I'm making these pies for. It's for an organization called Gospel Echoes, and they have a prison ministry where they go into prisons and they sing for the prisoners, and they basically just share the plan of salvation with them and tell them about Christ's love, and it's just a really great organization. And I'm always so happy to help with the bake sale every year. And yeah, I'm going to link their website in the description box if you'd like to know a little bit more about the organization and what they do and just some more information on all of that. Also, if you'd like to make a donation to help out with their ministry, yeah, there's some information on their website. So be sure to check out the description box for a link to all of that good stuff. Okay, well, we have an exciting little plot twist to our day. My oven isn't working super great. My husband took a look at it real quick for me, and he's pretty sure that it's like the heating element or I don't know what. But either way, it decided we're not making pies today, so these things happen. It's okay. I'm gonna freeze the rest of my pie filling and the crust that I have made. And then when my oven is feeling cooperative again, I can bake the rest of them. The most disappointing thing about this is I wanted to have more pies to take to the fundraiser, but it's okay, this happens. Anyways, I guess my oven needed a day off. We all have days like this, and so I guess my oven is just having one of those days. So anyways, it's okay. But I'm gonna do some quick cleanup here. I'm gonna put the pie crust and pie filling in the freezer. And then I'm gonna package up the pies and hopefully run them over to the fundraiser sometime this afternoon. So yeah, I guess the bright side of this happening is now I can show you how I freeze my pie crust. So if you were curious, this was not a part of the plan for today's video, but here we are. So first of all, you're gonna roll it out like normal. And then we'll lay it on a piece of parchment paper and roll it up and stick it in the freezer.
And that is how I make pies. If you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to ask them in the comment section or reach out to me on Instagram. I love hearing from you guys. And I will see you next week on Tuesday for another video, as always. And if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit that like button. And yeah, I'll see you next week, guys. Bye!